Baltimore City leaders are working to create a new fund to pay for vocational educations and create pathways for students to find jobs.
Yeah, it's named after a beloved community activist who was murdered earlier this year. WMAR2 News' Abby Isaacs explains what the Dante Barksdale Career Technology Apprenticeship Fund would do if passed by City Council.
His life was an inspiration to not only all of us, but to generations that will come behind him.
And with a new bill, his name would live on in the Baltimore City Charter for decades to come. Council President Nick Mosby announced legislation to create the Dante Barksdale Career Technology Apprenticeship Fund, a trust to pay for more Baltimore students to receive education in skilled trades through the city school system.
We hope that this will connect young folks to non-traditional pipelines of employment. And we know the jobs that are coming down a pipeline in the city of Baltimore.
It's named after beloved activist Dante Barksdale. He was the leader of Safe Streets Baltimore and was murdered in January. The idea for this fund came from his last communication with Mosby. He said he wanted to work on a job creation program.
He stood in the middle of violence reduction for the city, interrupting violence on a daily basis. But he understood and knew that all the work that he was able to do would not be sustainable as it relates to reducing violence without providing real opportunity to our young folks.
The legislation honors Barksdale's legacy by preparing city youth for jobs, to combat unemployment, and prevent a cycle of violence. Student Dion Stokes, who's part of Edmondson West Side's CTE carpentry program, knows how impactful it could be.
What I've seen, experienced, and benefited from is something I can never imagine. I have been privileged to shadow and help on 11 job sites with carpenters, 2 kitchens, 2 basements, 3 floors, a deck, a fence, and a paint job.
Mosby says this wouldn't cost the city anything. Contractors who have city jobs will pay a small fee into the fund for every labor hour, creating a lasting memory of Barksdale that's priceless.
But I do know one thing that my brother stood for, as well as my mother and my family. Education is the bridge that binds our community. And I pray that this program is nurtured throughout the years in my brother's honor, and I'm very proud.
The bill will be introduced to the City Council tonight and then assigned to a committee. If passed, voters still have to approve the charter amendment to establish the fund. In Baltimore, Abby Isaacs, WMAR2 News.